What's going on, Wise Take Nation? This is an MLB DFS podcast. I'm your host, Paulie D, and I'm joined by Cam, the boy genius. What's going on, Cam?
Not too much, man. Ready for MLB to start tomorrow. It's going to be a fun day, that's for sure.
You do not sound very ready, but
I'm
hopefully
tired.
we can get that changed when we get moving. Yep, late pod, a lot going on. Also joined by my boy, KashinDFS. What's happening, Cash?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Yeah, you sound real
Let's do this.
Let's do this, baby. MLB, man. MLB is a lot of fun. It's a long season. Very, very different from NBA, which we've been grinding out for the last 4 or 5 months. Very, very different approach. A lot of different styles. Cam, what's your, like, how do you approach MLB? What do you play? Cash, GPP? And, like, what's, like, your general kind of strategy?
Yeah, I don't really play a whole lot of cash, but I'll play like those 10-man, like 20-man on FanDuel, kind of as like a cash game. And then I'll play like lower field or lower player tournaments. So like I like those $25, like those $12 that are like 49-man and like 23-man and stuff. So I like that, and single entry stuff as well.
All right. Cash, and what about you, man? How do you play, and what's your like basic strategy?
Well, mostly GPPs and a little hedge life in cash. But I don't make a cash team. I just make a main team and throw it in everything.
So you build a one team a night?
Usually one main team with all the money on it. Usually. And then it just depends on the slate how much I'll throw in some donkeys or other things. Yeah.
And what about strategy? Chalk? How do you feel about chalk?
F the chalk. This is not the NBA. I do not have to play the chalk. The chalk can go over any day of the week. F the chalk. But I think I like a chalk team today.
Yeah. I mean, baseball.
I mean, I will play it if I think it's great. But I'll say it. You'll hear me say it a million times. Mike Trout can go 0 for 4 any day. And he's the best player in baseball. So F the chalk.
Yeah. I mean, they say baseball's got the most variance of the big 3 or 4 sports. Long season. It's a sport where, doing well 3 out of 10 times is a Hall of Fame career. So definitely very different. And like, I think you get really caught up in basketball, fading the chalk, and it's like not what you really want to do. You just want to get slightly different. But in baseball, I think over time, the most success you'll have is from fading the chalk. When you fade the chalk and the chalk busts, which is very often, tournaments are wide open. And it is very, very easy to get different in baseball. I only play tournaments. This year it's going to be a little different. I pretty much used to build like 3 to 5 teams and like have like a main, like Cash said, and then spread out the money going down depending how much I had and how big the slate is. This year I'm going to start mass multi-entering, some low dollar stuff, probably on DraftKings, and then between FanDuel and DraftKings have like one main with 2 or 3 teams behind it, and see how that goes. But I definitely want to get into mass multi-entering for baseball this year. I like to take some of the cheaper pitchers I think have upside, so I can pay up for bats. That's probably opposite of what most of the field does. It's pretty common to grab like the expensive pitcher, lock in those safe points, especially in cash. But I think to win tournaments, you need the bats more than, there's one pitcher that can score points versus 8 or 9 bats that can score points. FanDuel made a change this year. Did you guys notice that? The catcher first base is now a slash, and then there's a utility.
Yeah, and you can stack.
Definitely noticed that. I can't stand it.
I think you can what? 4 hitters. You can stack 4 hitters now and a pitcher from the same team as well.
Oh, really? But not 5 hitters? But
yeah,
4
hitters
cool.
and the pitcher.
That's cool.
I thought you was about to say 5. I don't want 5. I like 5.
Yeah, well, you can do that on DraftKings, but a lot of times, when a team's going to dominate, win like 9-0, the pitcher's going to get the win, probably go longer, it makes sense. So I like stacking hitters with the pitcher, and it was always annoying only do 3. So that is a good change. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, that was annoying.
I didn't know that you could. That. Yeah, I didn't know you could play the pitcher and 4 hitters.
Yeah, that's cool. That's definitely cool. So I'm a Yankees fan. Things are looking good this year. We got Mike Stanton over. A lot of power. Stanton, Sanchez, Judge. Nice little 2, 3, 4. I'm thinking. Cash, you're a Red Sox fan, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Gonna be fun. You guys got Sale, one of the best pitchers in the game. JD Martinez, I think, was a great pickup. I was really, really hoping you guys did not get him. Who else? Anybody else big that the Red Sox picked up this year?
I don't think so. I'm waiting for Machado.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
That's what
I actually think Hanley Ramirez is going to have a big year now that JD's in that lineup around him. I think he's going to have a big bounce back year. So I'm definitely nervous about them. And Cam, what are you, a Brewers fan?
JD can help.
Yeah. JD's going to help in a big way.
Yeah,
right,
man.
Cam?
My small market Brewers. You guys, Boston, New York, we just got Milwaukee here. So they made a couple moves this offseason too. So I'm excited about them getting Yelich and Kane. Picked up a couple pitchers, nothing too special, but should be serviceable arms for they've targeted ground ball pitchers too, which is something you're going to want to do in Milwaukee. So I'm excited for the season. I'm going to the weekend opener against the Cubs like April 7th with a bunch of buddies and stuff. So it should be a good year to go and watch some games and stuff. So I'm excited to see what the season brings, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah,
and most people probably don't realize, like, Milwaukee was, 1 seed out of the playoffs last year. Like, I expect good things from Milwaukee. And if you checked out the cheat sheets, which are already up for MLB, they're my top stack of the day tomorrow. And I'll be stacking them a lot this year. But, yeah, we got a big slate. So let's jump into this. You like them too?
Yep.
And we will see, what their projected lineup is to be tomorrow and see what else you guys like. But it's 12 games on the FanDuel main, so we're going to go through all those. I know the DraftKings main's only about 9, so the last few will cut off. We'll cover them both. Cam, I'm going to start with you. The first game we got is the Minnesota Twins traveling to Baltimore. We got Dylan Bundy taking on Jake Odorizzi, and Baltimore is a 120 favorite, and I do not have an over-under right now. What are your thoughts on this one? Oh, I do 9.5 over under.
Yeah. So I have some interest in Bundy here as a pitcher. Near the end of the year, he started to get his slider going. He has Caleb Joseph, who's going to be catching him full time now that Wellington Castillo is out. So I like that as well. His slider has a K percentage of 44% last year, and the Twins struggled with the slider last year, hitting first righties the slider. So I like him a lot as like a cheap option. The only thing that concerns me is this ballpark, Camden Yards, and the wind. Tomorrow is supposed to be blowing out 11 miles per hour to straight center, which is a little bit concerning. But I think at 6.8 on FanDuel, and I think he's around the same on DraftKings. I like him. Or I think he's 6'8" on DraftKings.
You talking about right now?
Bundy. He's 6'8" on DraftKings, 7-1 on FanDuel. So I like him for the potential strikeout upside in this matchup. Don't have any interest in pitching Jake Odorizzi, but I could see attacking him with the bats. Baltimore has a 5 implied run total tomorrow, so they are one of the highest projected run totals on the board on the slate. So that's always interesting. Doesn't always say everything, but I think it's noteworthy. Odorizzi's a fly ball pitcher, so with 11 mile per hour winds straight to center, I could see that giving a little bit of boost to bats that don't really need it. So I'm looking at guys like Shope, Machado, Jones, Chris Davis, Mancini are the main targets here. Beckham's okay. He kind of swings out of his shoes, but if he connects, he could also poke one out. Then there's some cheaper options like Pedro Alvarez. I think he's like 2K on FanDuel. He hits the ball hard. He's interesting if you're looking for a salary saver, but I think I have right now in our expert poll, Baltimore is like one of my favorite GPP stacks just because I've been reading around and I haven't really heard a lot about them. And I think they might get overlooked in this one with all the other teams that are playing. But I think
I don't think they'll be crazy popular, and I like them too. Cash, what do you think about this one?
I don't think I'm ready to go to Bundy yet, but I do like that Beef is gone. So I'm gonna like pitchers for Baltimore much more with Joseph back there catching. Beef is not a catcher. He can't call a game. He's fucking terrible. So I don't think I go to Bundy today. I actually like Minnesota a little bit as a sneaky stack. It's a good ballpark. I'm not gonna pitch Odorizzi, that's for sure. I like both of these. I like both of these teams for bats. Like Machado, Beckham, Scope. Mancini is my dude. I love Mancini. So it's bats for me here.
What about
is Beckham projected to? He's projected to lead off, right? Yeah.
He's projected, and actually, we have a confirmed lineup for the Twins. Who do you like in the Twins lineup if you were going to attack Bundy?
Oh, Rosario. He's too cheap on FanDuel. I like him a good deal. Yeah, I like Lomo. I like Kepler. Not necessarily the real expensive option. Like, I'm not gonna go to Dozier. I don't think. I'm looking for cheap dudes.
Yeah,
Buxton is all right, but my favorite ones is probably Rosario, Morrison. They put their lineup out already.
Yeah. And
Minnesota did.
Yep. Rosario's batting fourth. Lomo's batting fifth.
Let me go look at it. Oh, for real? That's good. I like that. Let me go. Let me go find their lineup.
You know, I think Minnesota could be a decent stack because of the price. Right? If you're going to want to pitch a Kershaw or a Sale, you're going to have to find some cheap bats. And Rosario 2.6, Lomo 2.5, Eduardo Escobar batting 6 is 2.2, and Max Kepler is 2.3. So I think that's interesting. Not my favorite because I also have interest in Bundy. Not a ton, but maybe like as an SP2 on DraftKings. I probably wouldn't throw him on FanDuel, but you know, especially with the park and the wind blowing out. Let's move over. Interesting game though. We got the Houston Astros traveling to Texas. Cole Hamels facing Justin Verlander. The Astros are minus 160 favorites, and it looks like we got an over-under of 9 right now. And I believe Houston is probably one of the chalkier stacks for good reason. This is a great hitter's park, and they're facing a lefty. Cam, what's your thoughts here?
Yeah, so this is probably going to be one of the warmer games, too. It's going to be 72 degrees in Texas. Winds blowing out to right field, 7 miles per hour, so that's a little boost there as well. Not a whole lot, but I like George Springer, Alex Bregman, Jose Altuve, Carlos Correa would be my main targets. I really like these guys. I'm probably going to have a lot of exposure to Houston tomorrow. Cole Hamels is on the decline, I think, and Houston just crushes left-handed pitching. They don't strike out at all, and they get on base a lot as well. So a lot of run-scoring, RBI opportunity. It's just a really good stack, and it's all correlated as well. So they'll be one of my main targets tomorrow. I'm hoping J.D. Davis is going to play at 2K on FanDuel. He crushes left-handed pitching, and he's been hitting well in spring. So I'm hoping they can give him a chance, and he'll be a min-price guy that we can look at tomorrow. I don't have a bunch of interest in Texas bats besides a guy maybe like Andrews, Beltre, or Joey Gallo just off of pure power. I don't know why Gallo's batting second in this lineup. That's pretty crazy. But I think Verlander is interesting as well just because I don't think with all the other higher priced options, I think he's going to go really overlooked. But he's in a pretty decent spot here. The strikeout upside should be there. Although he does tend to struggle early on in the year, but I still think he's worth like a tournament look.
Yeah, I mean, he had a miserable first half and then, you know, picked it up in the second, got traded to Houston, and was dominant throughout the playoffs. Cash, what's your thoughts here?
Yeah, man. I rode Verlander last year.
Yeah.
Like once he started, like after the first couple of times, like you said, at the beginning of the year he was bad, but after those first few starts where he was balling and pitching deep, I was just going every day, every fifth day. I was playing him. I like him here. I don't think I play him today, but I do like him. Depends on how many lineups I end up going to make. If I make a lot, I'll play him. But he does have K upside. There's Ks all over this lineup.
Yeah.
And Gallo, they moved up Gallo late last year towards the top of the lineup, and they're leaving him there at the 2-hole. Like, he shouldn't be there. He should not be in the 2-hole for no team.
He should be batting fifth. Mazzara's batting fifth.
Yeah, like, 4th, 5th.
Them two should be swapped for sure.
But Verlander's okay. I like Verlander for tournaments, like Cam just said, but I don't know if I get to him.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the Houston Astros. Let me just tell you. Springer, Bregman, Altuve, Correa, Marwin Gonzalez, J.D. Davis, Evan Gattis, all smash lefties. All of them smash lefties. I like Evan Gattis. If he's in that lineup, I like him as a sneaky play. He's super cheap. Dude has double dong upside. He is not going to be played. That's going to be one of my big strategies on FanDuel this year. Is throwing I'm going to be throwing out catchers. I will have catchers in that utility spot at min price, super low owned, and that's going to be one of my strategies this year in GPPs is playing catchers, except your catcher. Damn him.
Except Sanchez, best catcher in the game.
Yeah, he's the one that's going to be popular. I mean, yeah. And he's going to be popular on the regular, but most of these dudes is not. Like,
all catchers are going to be lower owned. Like, I think, like, that change for Sanchez is going to be huge. Like, last year, he was always, like, 20 to 30% owned. I think his ownership's going to decrease because guys are going to go
It will go down some, but he'll still be the highest as far as catchers. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But it will go down some.
Totally agree with that.
Yeah,
the only two I really don't like
as well.
is who?
Gaddis has good BVP, 25 at-bats, 3 home runs, 360 average.
He's one of my favorite tournament plays tomorrow. I absolutely love him. I don't like Reddick. Like, I want to skip him. But you're going to get to bullpen eventually. So I don't think he's a terrible play. But I might skip Springer too, even though I really like him. And I might do, like, if JD is going to be 7, like, they got McCann projected at 9.
Yeah, no.
Like, I'm not playing.
I got Marisnik projected at 9 min price. I got McCann.
Oh, you do? I got McCann here. Because I got Gaddis at DH.
Okay. Yeah, I got Gaddis.
You got Gaddis as the catcher?
Batting 5th. Yep. No, DH.
Okay. But yeah, man. Bregman is also Bregman and Gaddis are two of my favorite plays. Because people will forget about Bregman and they'll want Altuve, Correa, Springer. And of course, why wouldn't you want them? They're great. But I love Bregman and I love Gaddis as a sneaky play. And Marwin Gonzalez, like, people forget about him too. Like, he can smash lefties as well. Like, they're just a lineup full of lefty smashers.
Loaded. I haven't dug in a ton. Like, I've done like my first look research, but just I'm getting the feeling for me, I'm going to be fading Houston because I think they're the chalk. And Cole Hamels, although I do agree he's on the downside of his career, I wouldn't be shocked, and I don't think any of you guys would if he didn't pitch bad either. Like, he's a veteran, and with so much projected ownership going here, I'm probably going to be fading this. I don't like it. I don't feel comfortable, but that's the process that I do. I'm going to stick with it. I do really like Alex Bregman. I'll probably be playing him regardless. I think Marisnik's interesting, min-price guy, and start to stack at 9. I did want to ask you guys, Cam, you first. When you say stack, do you mean 3, 4, 5 guys exactly in a row, or just 4 or 5 guys from a team? Like, are you going to stack the 1, 2, 3, or the 5, 6, 7, or will you jump around and go like 2, 5, 7, 9?
Yeah, it's all specific, like what team I'm stacking. So it doesn't have to be directly in order. Like, I can do like a 2, 4, 6, 8, or like a 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't really matter.
Cash, what about you when you talk about stacking?
I definitely do skip dudes. It's a situational thing, but I do like to skip dudes because most people don't. Most people just want to have guys in order. And my favorite stack of all, especially in the AL, is a wraparound. You know what I'm saying? I want that 8-9-1-2. Like that's my favorite thing in baseball. Like a lot of guys don't do that; they're scared of it. Yeah. But that's how you win. Like
especially
that's how you get to the top.
Because the road team, they're guaranteed an at bat in the top of the ninth. Where if the home team's winning, they don't get that at bat. So you can bat those guys on road teams.
And why I love them so much is it's a great ballpark and it's probably the best hitting conditions on the slate as far as weather. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's not hot in Texas yet, but it's hotter than everywhere else. So I love it. And when I do a chalk stack, that's when I try to definitely get weird. That's when I want a wraparound even more. Like that's when I'll skip. Like I'll skip Springer. Like I'll start at Gaddis and then and maybe Marisnik and skip Springer and go Bregman Altuve or skip Altuve go Correa. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah. If you're gonna play this chalk, I definitely agree. Get different with it a little bit. And if you want to get a good pitcher and play these Houston guys, you probably are going to need to include Gaddis and Marisnik in the stack. So 9-1-2-3 or 3-4-5, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just say it. Like I have the stack with Sale as the pitcher.
You got
because there's plenty of cheap options all about.
Yeah, like that Twins team we were talking about, and there's a couple others.
Exactly.
I do think there's merit to stack in Texas too, like for all the same reasons. Good ballpark, winds blowing out, best hitting conditions, and if we get the slow start Verlander, like when he gets hit hard, he gives up home runs, and Texas has a ton of left-handed power. Odor, Gallo, Mazzara. I do think stacking this team up at crazy low ownership is definitely worth the play in some of the donkeys. Moving on, my team. We got the New York Yankees in the Dome in Toronto. They are -144 favorites. We've got a looks like 9 over/under, and J.A. Happ is taking on Lou Severino. Cam, what do you got here?
Yeah, so first off, I like Severino versus the Blue Jays. They don't hit the slider very well, so this is like a really good matchup for him. Mm-hmm. I think he's going to go lower owned than he should as well, just because of the other options and how big of a slate it is. He's kind of in that weird tier where he's in between the 11K guys, but he's still not like a discount really. So I feel like people are going to want to pay up or just go down. So I like him in this matchup definitely against the Blue Jays. I think he's a good tournament option. And then you're going to call me crazy, but I have interest in J.A. Happ tomorrow versus the Yankees. He's had good history versus this team. They strike out a lot. It's the ultimate leverage play in a tournament. You were just talking about fading the chalk. So I'm going to assume that the Yankees are going to be popular tomorrow just with all the hype of Stanton going there and everything. So I'm just going to look at it. He's had good history. He has a strikeout upside, so if the Yankees suck and he does well, then it's the ultimate leverage because you'll go to the top and everyone else will go to the bottom. So I'm going to throw him in a few just because I think it's a really good leverage opportunity. But for the Yankees bats, my favorites are going to be obviously Judge, Stanton, Sanchez, and then another one of my favorites is Aaron Hicks. He's pretty at a discount on FanDuel. He is 2-3 on FanDuel, so I like him. He hits left-handed pitching very well.
Batting fifth too.
Yeah, he's
exactly.
So he should have a pretty good day tomorrow. So I like him, especially to kind of get a discount in the stack if you're trying to get those bigger guys. Not a whole lot of interest in really any Blue Jays at all.
Yep. Cash, what about you? Before you go, I'm going to try and build a Yankee stack with the good guys and see if that works.
No, it's definitely possible because I got a Houston stack. And there's cheap dudes in there like Drury. I expect Drury to be uber chalk because he's so cheap. And I expect the Yankees to be chalk.
Hicks is chalk, batting fifth at 2-3. Like you go,
Yeah,
Judge, Stanton, Sanchez, Hicks. Like he's gonna be chalky.
I love Hicks. Yeah, and I love him. Like when I seen him in the 5 hole, I was like, oh, he's my favorite. He's my favorite Yankee bat.
Yep.
But Severino, I absolutely love. He has major upside against this Toronto team that cannot hit a slider to save their life. I think he throws it, if I remember correctly, it's like 40. It might be over 40%.
I can look it up. Yeah.
It is a lot. I know for sure. I definitely don't know the exact number.
35.
Yeah, he throws. I mean, that's his main pitch.
Yeah.
35. What about to righties?
I don't have those numbers. I just have overall.
Okay. But
Cash trying to get deep.
He's one of the best pitching options on the slate, in my opinion. And if he's gonna be if he's not gonna be popular because of the other dudes, I think he's a great option. J.A. Happ, I agree with Cam. I know CK likes him too. Like that's like a big balls play. Like you leverage the field. I think the Yankees are gonna be the most popular with all the hype, and they got Stanton, the beast. They got Aaron Judge. I mean, both of them are beasts. Like, I think they might be the 2 strongest dudes in baseball, and they're on the same roster. And, yeah, there is Ks in the lineup. Like, they will K, both of them. They could each have 3 strikeouts tomorrow. That is definitely within the realm of possibility. So, I don't mind J.A. Happ. I would only do it in Donkey. And I would only do it if I was doing multiple lineups. Like if I was making one lineup, I wouldn't be like, oh, let me force Happ in. You know what I'm saying? But I don't mind it. I think it's a good play because if they are going to be chalk, if he goes out and strikes out 8, 9 of them and gives up 1 run, I mean, that'd be good for you. And I have no interest in no Toronto bat at all. And I will not be playing the Yankees today. Although, I mean, I can't tell you shouldn't because, wow, what a lineup.
Yeah. Beautiful. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, dude.
Another beautiful thing about baseball is like you can directly hedge your bets. I know a lot of other sports it's kind of tough. Like you can in NBA you can't really. You can try, but it doesn't always work out. Like. In MLB, you can directly hedge your bets, which is pretty nice. So you can take risks and then make another lineup where you stack the Yankees and you have it off.
Real fast. Explain how you can hedge your bets. Real fast.
I mean, it's like you can have a lineup in a tournament where you're multi-entering and you can have Happ lineups. And then opposite of it, you can just have Yankees. And then whatever one does well, it'll go to that.
Yep.
You should always hedge. If you're playing say I'm playing a main lineup and I got this pitcher and I'm all in. Like all of my lineups I have them. You bet your ass. If I got 100, 200, how much I play later on in the season after I win a bunch of money, I might be playing $1,000 in a night. I will be making a stack against him just in case. So with all this money being dead, if that stack goes off and he sucks, that stack goes off. Then I at least have a shot to be at the top of a tournament with that and actually make money. So what Cam said is exactly right, especially pitchers. Like if you're going to be all in on a pitcher, you make a hedge stack against them.
Yep. Totally agree with that. Like you definitely want to protect yourself. And usually, you're going to be very, very contrarian with that hedge. So like you said, if it goes off, and any play in baseball can go off at any time. There's really no telling when. I personally don't think Happ's going to go enough innings to rack up the stats where I don't disagree that maybe he pitches decent and the Yankees don't crush him, where the Yankee stack doesn't work out. But I don't think Happ is a guy that I want to pitch tomorrow. I just think there's guys with much more upside. I don't expect him to go more than 6, even if he's doing well. He's just a guy that is a little bit older, needs to kind of get into the flow of things. And, Toronto's got a decent bullpen. So, depending on game flow. So I don't think Happ has enough likelihood of getting a monster score. He could shut down the stack. I'm going to have a little bit of the Yankees tomorrow, but not a ton.
I wouldn't do it on FanDuel, but on DraftKings, he's one of the cheapest pitchers. So I
as an SP2, especially if you are playing a lot of Yankees, but On FanDuel, one pitcher, I
Yeah.
doubt I'm going to end up on Hap.
No way. Yeah, definitely.
I agree. There's really nobody on Toronto that I'm looking to play. And from the Yankees, like, sure, I really like Sanchez more than Judge and Stanton, but you can play any of them. And if you're stacking it, I think you want to throw in Hicks and Brandon Drury for sure. 2-1 for Drury, batting 7th, and Hicks 2-3, batting 5th behind all those mashers. Next game we got Boston Red Sox, minus 164, traveling to Tampa. We got Chris. This is a pitcher's duel. We got Chris Archer facing Chris Sale. Cam, what's your thoughts on this matchup?
I'm going to have a lot of exposure to Sale tomorrow. It's too good of a matchup. Boston's minus 164 favorite at Tampa against Chris Archer. That's a really good line for all that going against him still. So I have interest in him. He should win. He should get the win. He should get the quality start. And this Rays lineup's really bad. They're going to strike out a lot. Carlos Gomez, Kevin Kiermaier, Matt Duffy, CJ Cron, Wilson Ramos. Span's about the only guy who's probably not going to really strike out all that much. So I really like Sale tomorrow. If he's going to be chalky, that's fine. I'll just differentiate elsewhere.
Are you concerned about the day-to-day tag he's got right now?
No, he just got a bruise from a line drive in spring training, so he's fine. That doesn't concern me too much.
Okay.
And then I've read some things around the industry that Archer might be a popular option on DraftKings for your secondary pitcher option. I'm not going to go there at all. I don't see the upside in this matchup versus Boston. They don't really strike out all too much, and they're just not a team that I'm looking to attack. They have a really solid lineup just overall, so I'm not going to go there at all. I don't have any interest in Tampa Bay bats, and I could take a shot on a Mookie Betts or JD Martinez for Boston, but I'm not going to have a ton of heavy exposure overall to this game besides Sale.
Nice, very nice. And what's even nicer is Patio Joe with a little inside information. He has a connect out in Boston who said that Sale is good to go. So don't even worry about the game time decision tag or whatever you call that. We got the scoop. Patio Joe. Patio Joe's always up. Cash, what do you think about this? Your boys, the Red Sox.
Good. I'm glad to hear that because the little hip thing kind of did worry me a little bit. I love Sale. I think he's the best pitcher on the slate. I think he's better than Kershaw tomorrow, even though, you never go wrong with Kershaw, but
and he does have a good umpire for Sale. The
lineup is just dog shit. It's terrible. There's one bat that I'm worried about, and that's Ramos, whatever the hell. He's hit Sale very well. He is min price, and if I make lineups without Sale, I will have Ramos on a lineup. He will be on a lineup without Sale because he's only 2-1. He's hit him well in the past, and he's healthy this year. When he's healthy, he's good. So I do like him. I can't say I would like to stack Boston because I won't, and I don't. But I do like Mookie Betts, though.
Yeah.
That's probably the only Boston bat that I like. And other than that, it's Sale. That's all I got in this game.
Yep. It sounds like Sale's going to be one of the more popular pitchers on the slate. Can't argue with it. Tampa Bay's lineup is ugly, and they really dismantle a lot of their good players. And it's a pitcher's ballpark, And Sale was one of the best pitchers in baseball last year. What's not to like? I'll definitely have some Sale. He's got, slate winning upside. He can go for 75 on FanDuel easily here. He does have a good pitcher's umpire, and that bodes well for the strikeouts. I agree. If you're throwing a ton of Sale and you want to do a hedge with the Rays, I would probably go Gomez, Duffy, Wilson Ramos, and maybe Kiermaier or Cron. Definitely Ramos. He's got the probably best chance of hitting a homer off Sale. And Carlos Gomez, when he's hot, he can hit just about anybody. Chris Archer's definitely interesting. I really, really like him as a pitcher. It's a shame he's on such a bad team. I probably won't pitch him just because I think he's too expensive. Like on DraftKings, he wouldn't be my SB2. And on FanDuel, I usually don't grab guys I don't think are going to get a win because it's just so much points. So I don't think I would pitch Chris Archer. But like Cash said, I'm really not too interested in a ton of Red Sox bats outside of Mookie Betts and maybe some JD Martinez. But other than that, I really don't have too much interest. And Chris Sale, he's not my top pitcher, but one I will have exposure to. I definitely think it's worthwhile.
I love Archer. Not today, but I love him.
In general, yeah.
Yeah, my 2 biggest nights last year were with Archer.
Really? He was my all-time best night was with Chris Archer.
Yeah, man. He was my pitcher for the live final night and another night where I just absolutely smashed.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love Chris Archer. Next game we got the Angels with Garrett Richards starting, traveling to Oakland, facing Kendall Graveman. The Angels are -120, pretty close to a pick'em, and we got an over/under of 8.5. Cam, what's your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, honestly, I don't have too much interest in this one. Kendall Graveman is a guy who limits hard contact. He's kind of like a ground ball pitcher. He's probably will give up some runs, but he's not going to give up
a fantasy very relevant pitcher. You know,
yeah,
it might be more real life good, but not fantasy good.
Yeah, so like I'm not gonna pitch him tomorrow, and he's kind of the type of pitcher where I don't really like to take bats against him either. So I'll probably avoid this situation just overall. And I've read a couple things around the industry, like Garrett Richards might be popular as an SB2 option on DraftKings. He's a guy who's come back from injury a couple times here. Little speculative, but if he can put it all together, he should be a good option against Oakland. They strike out quite a bit, but they're also like a dangerous team to target because they have a really good ISO and WRC plus versus righties. Just in general, as a whole team, they hit for power really well and drive and run. So it's a big ballpark and everything. Oakland's at home. Kind of scary to stack against them at home here. So I'm probably just going to avoid this game totally.
You know how Garrett Richards pitched in spring training?
I think he did pretty well. I'll have to look more into it. But
check while Cash is talking. Cash, what's your thoughts here? Any interest?
Yes, I have major interest. I can't even say the word. I have major interest in Richards in tournaments. Major. Dude has nasty stuff. Some of the nastiest stuff in baseball. He just hasn't put it together yet from injuries and whatnot. But if he is on, like, he could case so many of these A's. And yes, they do have power. They have power over there. They also have Ks. So I'll take my chances that he's pitching better than they're swinging in that ballpark. He's one of my favorite tournament options of the day. On FanDuel, I don't think he will be popular. Maybe he's popular on DK as an SP2. But there's so many good options. It's hard for me to say that people are going to be clicking on Garrett Richards.
Yeah, he's definitely not going to be popular on FanDuel.
He's one of my favorite tournament options. I really like him. Major K upside, and he's very good. Like I said, dude has some nasty stuff. And you could stack the A's, the power bats, but I'm not going to do it today. I love Crush Davis more than I think anybody in baseball.
That means.
But not for me today, I don't think. And Graveman is garbage. I wouldn't mind stacking against Graveman. Graveman is not very good against righties. So, but I don't think I'm going to, but I wouldn't mind it, man. This game is pretty much just Richards for me.
Yep. I'm going to have to dive into Richards after the show, see how many pitches he was throwing in the spring, and check out the umpire. And then, see like what he throws versus what the A's hit well and make a decision. But he's definitely someone I'm thinking about. But, I haven't dove in deep enough to like confirm that call. Other than that, though, like this game's mostly a cross out. Obviously, you could play Mike Trout. You could play Mike Trout any day. You could have a 4x3 by what a 4x4 by 1 stack, right? Is that right? Nine bats.
Yeah.
Yeah, and have a one off of Trout any day, and I think the same goes for Chris Davis at 3-1. Like, I don't care how good Richards is. Like, Chris Davis could take him deep twice any day of the week. So
damn right. That's why he's one of my favorite players, because he has double dong upside every day.
Every day.
Every day.
And he hit for more power off righties last year. 3-1 on FanDuel. That's always interesting to me. Nobody's going to be on him. He's always 5% owned or less, unless it's like
a slate. It's one of my favorite things. I love when 10 o'clock rolls around, 10:05, and I open up and Chris Davis 1% owned.
Yeah. All the time.
I get a bonus.
Right. Oakland is one of my favorite sneaky teams to stack. They're usually cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Jed Lowry, cash game porn, as Patio Joe coined him. Crush Davis, Matt Olson came on last year. I don't even mind Matt Joyce at the top of the order, but probably not tomorrow, unless I get a feeling that Richards is vulnerable.
Oh, Piscotty too, who's not terrible.
What'd you say?
They added Piscotty and Luke.
Piscotty, yeah. Piscotty only against lefties. Yeah. Cash, what did you say?
I said all West Coast teams.
Yeah.
I love them all. Padres, Dodgers, Oakland, Seattle, Arizona. All of them. I love to stack all of them.
I was going to lead into this next game by saying one of Cash's favorite teams to stack.
Oh, yeah.
The Milwaukee Brewers taking on the San Diego Padres. We got Clayton Richard, the lefty, facing Chase Anderson, the righty. The Brewers are -115 favorites, and we've got an over-under right now of 8. Cam, Milwaukee is your favorite team. What do you got here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really on them tomorrow, but it's scary. You're tempting me with them as your top stack, because now I have interest in them. But Richards is like a ground ball pitcher. They're in a big stadium. It just doesn't seem like the right matchup for the Brewers here for me to go and take a stack with them. Although, with that being said, they are facing a lefty, and they do hit lefties very well. You get a guy like Ryan Braun, who his power's been down the last couple of years, but he still doesn't strike out versus left-handed pitching. He puts the ball in play almost all the time. So he's a solid option at 2.9. Domingo Santana at 3.3 on FanDuel just absolutely crushes left-handed pitching. You get Manny Pena as a punt catcher at 2.2. He's a pretty solid player. And then you get these middle infielders like 7 and 8. Arcia and VR. So I like those guys. For Milwaukee pitching-wise, though, Chase Anderson, I've heard his name a couple times. I don't want to go there tomorrow. I think San Diego's improved their lineup. They've had a bunch of young guys last year, too, that came up from the minor leagues. They just have more experience now. They added a veteran in Freddie Galvis and Eric Hosmer. So I'm not going to really attack this team. And I think, like Cash always said last year, too, they have sneaky upside. They're a dangerous team. So I don't want to pitch Chase Anderson, a guy who kind of got lucky in terms of advanced statistics last year compared to his actual results. So I'll pass on that. I think Clayton Richards is okay. He's not going to be a guy I'm going to take, but probably just avoid bats against.
Yep. Cash, what do you think, bro?
I can't really remember. I haven't dug into Chase Anderson. Does he throw a lot of straight stuff, Cam, or?
I know he's reverse splits.
He's like a fastball, curveball,
reverse splits pitcher. So the righties hit him better, and he's really tough against lefties.
And I mean, Padres might have improved too, but if you get a guy throwing straight to the Padres, stack them up, man, because they're never owned. They won me so much money last year. The year before that, it was the A's and the Dodgers. I love the Padres personally. They won me a ton of money. They took me to the live final. I love them.
That's who took you to the live finals, the Padres?
Well, a lot of people did, but yeah, I stacked them. That's and awesome. If Nelson Cruz's home run didn't get reversed, I would have won 40 G's that night instead of 15. Yeah. He hit a home run and they reversed it to a double. My money went from 15 G's to 40 G's. And then somebody told me they reversed it, and I looked at it. Oh my God. You never be so upset of winning 15,000. Oh, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's neither here nor there. I love the Padres. You won't hear nobody else in the entire industry say they're going to stack the Padres more than you'll hear me say I'm going to stack the Padres. I love the Padres, and they're going to get even better because they're young. Love them. But if I look at the umpire and the umpire gives a low strike zone, I will like Anderson. If the umpire does not give a low strike zone, I will not like him.
Yeah.
But I do. What?
No, keep going.
I like all the Brewers. The whole lineup from top to bottom. I love Kane. I love Shaw. I love Braun. I love Santana, especially those. But I can throw in Pena, Arcia, Villar, and Yelich. But 2 through 5, absolutely love them.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Brewers, one of my favorite stacks. I think it's going to be very, very low owned. Lorenzo Cain, Christian Yelich, you can take against a soft throwing lefty. Ryan Braun is 2.9 on FanDuel. Unfortunately, he's only first base eligible. This is going to be tough. You know, he's sacrificing a very good player there. I don't understand why he lost his outfield. I'm assuming he's going to play some outfield this year. Travis Shaw, Domingo Santana, like Cash said, Pena, Arcia, VR. I could literally play everyone in this lineup. No one, the most expensive guy is Yelich at 3.6. Everybody is affordable. They help get Kershaw or Sale definitely into this. They did, San Diego's ballpark actually, like, as the season wore on last year, like, when the season started, it was, like, bottom 3 worst parks. And by the end of the season, it was, like, middle of the pack, like, 15th. So
I like 5, 6, 7, 8, especially for the Brewers here because they're super cheap. And this might be, like, a weird thing that I just remembered, but for some reason I feel like Braun like absolutely tears it up in San Diego. I don't know why. That might be like a weird thing. I'll have to look into it, but
yeah, we'll look into that. But I definitely think that the Brewers are viable tomorrow, whether it's to help afford a good pitcher and use some of the cheaper guys, or to load up on Braun, Kane, Domingo Santana, who aren't even that expensive. So I like them. Good environment, 70 degrees.
Cash. Chase Anderson throws like a sinker and a cutter, so it's not a straight fastball. Just if you wanted to know.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. But I do like 1 through 4 of the Padres.
Yep.
I mean, they have upside, all 4 of them dudes. So I do like them. I'm not gonna stack them today, I don't think, but I do like them.
Yeah. So with Chase Anderson being reverse splits, righties against a righty, the Padres, like, those guys are going to be super low owned. Manuel Margot's got speed. Like, if he gets on, he could definitely steal against Chase Anderson. Will Myers can hit for power and speed. Hosmer's a lefty, which he's still a good enough hitter. I don't think Chase Anderson's anything to run away from. And he'll probably get some bullpen if the rest of the team gets to him as well. Jose Perella, he had a couple monster games last year. He's 2-1 batting cleanup. Righty on righty. I don't mind that. After that, the lineup gets kind of ugly projected right now for the Padres. But Braun's last 2 games in San Diego was August 2nd, August 3rd. He had 19 and 16 day DraftKings points. So some good recent form in San Diego. Definitely like Ryan Braun. I like hitters in this game overall. I probably won't use either of these pitchers, although they are interesting as an SP2 on DraftKings, as super cheap and a low over-under. But I think...
And that's... I'm sorry. I was about to say, that's something that you could look at. Some guys see the ball a lot, like really good in certain ballparks.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like Rizzo in Pittsburgh. Anytime Rizzo is playing in Pittsburgh, he's going to be on my team. And I mean, it's as easy as that.
Yeah. No, for sure.
He smokes the ball there.
It's SVP, Stadium versus batter statistics.
Oh, yeah.
But that's definitely, like, there's definitely, in all sports, there's stadiums, courts you feel better on. And, if you see a trend, then I would stick with it. Next game we got, this one's interesting in my opinion. We got the Philadelphia Phillies traveling to Atlanta. Julio Teheran starting for Atlanta, taking on Aaron Nola, probably the most improved or, made the biggest jump last year of all starting pitchers into pretty close to the upper echelon and of all pitchers. Phillies are minus 124. Cam, what do you think here?
Yeah, I agree with you. This one's really interesting. It kind of popped out to me when I was looking at these games. I'm going to stay away from Nola at 8-8 just because the Braves are like a pesky lineup. They're projecting to have a lot of lefties in the lineup, and Nola struggles versus lefties. He's elite versus right-handed hitters, but I see on the projected lineup right now that there's only going to be 2 right-handed hitters in the lineup. Rest of them are going to be lefties, so that's just going to get me off Nola there. Not going to play him tomorrow. I think tomorrow is interesting, though, for the Phillies bats. Teheran is not good versus left-handed hitting, and he struggles, especially at home, versus lefties. And Phillies lineup has some power bats from the left side. You're going to get a guy like Carlos Santana, who just came up from Cleveland. I like him at 3-1. I think he's underpriced on FanDuel. Their leadoff guy is going to be a lefty. Odubel Herrera is 2-2 on FanDuel, projected to bat third in this lineup. Rhys Hoskins, Nick Williams, if he bats 5, is going to be a really good option. Min Price, left-handed batter in this ballpark. I like that a lot.
And Nick Williams is Min Price?
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Wow.
Yep. I think I really like Philadelphia tomorrow. It's kind of like a sneaky lower owned stack. I don't think they're going to be very high owned. So I really like the lefties for the Phillies tomorrow. And then for the bats for the Braves, I would just take Freeman. That's going to be the only guy I would look at.
Yeah, as a one-off. Cash, what about you?
Yeah, the Phillies, man. I think I like them more than Minnesota, but I don't right now I have Minnesota on my main team, but it might change. I really like these. They're too cheap. And Teheran cannot get a lefty out at home to save his life. Like, you could literally say, you need to get this lefty out, or I'm going to kill you. He would not be able to do it. Like, he cannot do it. So I love them. I'm not going to be playing Rhys Hoskins today at that price, even though that dude's a freak. He's a freak. That dude is a freak. But Santana, Cesar Hernandez, Herrera, and Nick Williams might be my favorite player in the entire slate. I love Nick Williams to death. The price is just ridiculous. $2K. I mean, just give that to me, please. I like Philly a lot.
Yep.
And I'm not pitching Nola. Too many lefties in that Atlanta.
That's like a rule, right? Like, you don't pitch Nola when he's facing more than like 3 lefties.
Exactly.
We'll have to see how he does this year. I'm expecting big things from Nola.
Me too.
I probably wouldn't go there this game. Atlanta was a phenomenal hitter's park, especially for lefties. Teheran, I did hear he had a really good spring, but until I see it, during the regular season, I'm going to approach it as a guy who cannot get lefties out. He's tough against righties, so it's a spot where I probably would be skipping some guys, although don't think I'm going to skip Rhys Hoskins, so maybe not. And then everyone else is a switch hitter. Cesar Hernandez, Carlos Santana. Definitely like the Santana, batting second, upgrade for Philly. I think that was a good trade. Odubel Herrera, he's 2.2. I like that as well. Nick Williams, 2.0. Rhys Hoskins, 3.9. So I like 2 through 5 on Philly, and I will have some of that. I love this park. I love taking left-handed bats in this park. And I think I could have an Atlanta stack in a donkey.
I really like Albies,
Enciarte, Freeman, 1, 2, 3.
I wish they would call up Acuna or Suna, whatever his name is. That guy's gonna be a stud.
Yeah, I mean, he's like probably one of the most touted hitters in a while, in my opinion. Like, guy that they're sure of is gonna be a stud coming out of the minors. Like, there's always the highest projected guy every year, but this guy seems to be like the most favorite in a long time. So I'm looking forward to him. Drafted in the Wise Take fantasy season-long league tonight. Jumped up, grabbed him early before everyone else, and hope that he gets called up soon. But I do think the 1, 2, 3 from the Braves, Fred Freeman could take anybody deep, and if there's ever a time to stack against a good pitcher, it's the first game of the year. Very unlikely them to pitch deep. They could be rusty, and you're going to have it at super low ownership in a good park. So I think it's viable. But I'm not going to have too much of either. If anything, probably a little bit more of the Philadelphia guys. Next game we got is the Chicago White Sox traveling to Kansas City. Danny Duffy taking on James Shields, brah. We got the Chicago White Sox.
Oh my God, you just reminded me.
Yep. Kansas City Royals are minus 153 favorites, and we got an OU of 9 right now. Cam, what are your thoughts here?
I think this game is going to be popular. I think the Kansas City Bats are going to be popular just based off of like everyone last year knows how bad James Shields was, and I feel like that's going to carry on to this year. Kansas City's bats are really cheap. You can get Moose at 3.3. You can get Duda at 2.6. You can get Jorge Soler at 2.2. I think they're going to be popular tomorrow. If I could be wrong, but they're going to be a fade for me just because I think they're going to be popular and their overall lineup isn't good at all. So I can't see them really reaching like GPP winning upside with only like 3 real MLB hitters in their lineup. So I'm going to fade them tomorrow. I don't have any interest in that, especially if it's going to be popular. I don't have interest in James Shields as a pitcher. Don't like Duffy as a pitcher tomorrow. I think he's kind of going through some injury stuff. I think I want to see him pitch a couple games and see what he's got. I want to see if he's figured anything out there. I like some of the White Sox bats. I don't mind Moncada. He's like one of my favorite players in the MLB. And I like Garcia and Abreu just versus lefties. They're really good at hitting lefties. And then you can get a guy like Wellington Castillo for cheap at 2.4 who mashes lefties as well. Not a great ballpark, but a lower owned White Sox.
Yep, that would definitely be contrarian. Cash, what are your thoughts here?
I mean, it sucks about Perez.
Yeah.
I seen that like right before the show. I was like, that sucks.
Sal Perez injured himself today, out probably 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah. I really like 2 plays. Well, no, actually, I could say 3. Really like Lucas Duda, and I love Soler. Soler was on fire in the spring. I think he had 8 home runs in the spring. He lost weight in the offseason. This guy was a major prospect.
He was.
And I think that he finally realized like he needs to pick it up or he's going to be out of baseball.
Yeah.
And I like him. I don't think there's anybody that's going to play Soler
besides you and I. That's it.
I like him a lot. I loved him. And then I saw Nick Williams at 2. I was like, oh my God, you kidding me? It made me like Nick Williams more, but I like Soler a bunch. I love this guy, man. Nobody's going to play this guy, and he definitely has home run upside for sure.
And we have their lineup. He's confirmed batting 6, 2.2 on FanDuel. Yep.
Where's Moose batting?
So it's John Jay, Whit Merrifield, Moose, Duda, Chesley Cuthbert, Soler, Gordon, Escobar, Butera.
I wish he had somebody better in front of him.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
that kind of sucks, but
my God.
Hey, man, Merrifield is good. They got some good bats there. Moose is great.
Chesler Cuthbert is batting.
Yeah. No, he's not. I mean, maybe he. Yeah, no, I don't like that. That's in front of him, but I do love him. It's just a price thing, and just nobody's gonna play him. I know he has home run upside. Yeah. And my play from the White Sox is Matt Davidson. Love Matt Davidson. He has major power against Duffy. Like, major. He could also strike out 3 or 4 times.
Definitely.
If he faces Duffy 3 or 4 times, he could strike out 3 or 4 times. Duffy has been getting rocked during the spring. He's not been pitching very well.
Really? He's been getting rocked? And
I love
it. Hayes been there?
Yeah, he's been getting...
He's been getting there at least?
All I know is I seen him getting hit. I was like, okay.
All right.
I haven't looked at his K rate.
Okay.
You know it, Cam?
I don't know his strikeout percentage, but I know he's been getting hit up, so that's why I don't want to pitch him.
It's like, I thought this was an interesting spot. Like, I could pitch Duffy, and I could also do a cheap, sneaky White Sox stack. Don't love the park, but I do like Moncada, Avisail Garcia, Jose Abreu, and Matt Davidson. All 3 of those last 3 guys mash lefties. Mash.
I like all 3 of them, too. Yeah. Is Tim Anderson going to play, or we don't know?
He's batting 7th projected.
Okay.
The White Sox kind of came on last year too. Like yeah. So I could see them.
They were really good against left-handed pitching. Terrible.
Yeah, one of the best in baseball.
Yeah.
Abisail Garcia has like insane numbers versus lefties. Like he's amazing versus lefties.
Yes, definitely. And Matt Davidson has amazing power against lefties.
Yeah. So those three guys are interesting. You could even do a one-off, again in like a 4x4x1 of Davidson, Abreu, Abisail. You don't have to fully stack it. But, I do think there's a home run coming from the White Sox team this game. Even Wellington Castillo, batting fifth, hits from his lefties too. So you got 4 lefty mashers, 2 through 5. The Royals, I'm really not too interested in anyone outside of Duda, Soler, and Moose. And probably wouldn't stack them, but could be one-offs to help afford one of my favorite pitchers on the slate that's in the next game. We got San Francisco Giants traveling to Patio Joe's Los Angeles Dodgers. Clayton Kershaw taking on Ty Blach. The Dodgers are the biggest favorites on the slate at minus 275. And we have a 7 over-under. Cam, what do you think here? Also, Clayton Kershaw had a 0 ERA this spring. So I think
I was waiting for that.
I think he's coming in good form.
Yeah, I like Kershaw. I think I would rank him probably second behind Sale for me personally. I just like the matchup a little bit better for Sale just with the strikeout upside. But honestly, they're like 1A, 1B. I could see you going either way. I'm just saving $500 with Sale. So that's about it. It's kind of a coin flip. I don't have any interest in any of the San Francisco bats against Kershaw, and I don't have any interest in Tyler Blach at all. You can play a guy like Chris Taylor.
Look up Andrew McCutcheon's BVP against Kershaw, because I think he's crushed him in the past, but I agree. I don't care. I don't want no one from San Francisco.
Yeah. He could have like 7 home runs versus him. I'm not going to play him.
He's cheap.
But I like Chris Taylor in this spot. I like Seager, Puig, Bellinger, Kemp is cheap. Grandal's cheap. I like
They're all cheap. They're all priced like they was going to face Mad Bum.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly right.
That's a really good point.
Yep. So that's why they're so cheap.
They're all underpriced. So I think they'll be popular tomorrow, but for good reason. They're in a good spot. Tyler Blanche isn't good, so you can fire them up.
Cash, talk to me.
Yeah, I noticed that they were so cheap because they came out with the slate so early. Yep. But I'm hoping that maybe they don't carry so much ownership because it's later. Like people want to get in. They want to get in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They want to bust that nut. They want to get in. They don't want to wait till 7 to watch their players.
And so, this isn't on the. This is where the cutoff happens.
Yeah, it's not on DK
DraftKings, too. So a lot of like the research, the shows you're going to hear aren't even going to include these games.
Yeah, I mean it's just one of my favorite things to do in baseball is attack West Coast games. I mean this is still early, but there's a big gap between that 4:15 game and this game.
Yep.
So if people is not going to be on them, I mean they're great. Like they're great plays all throughout the lineup because they're just so cheap. Like, I love Taylor. I mean Seager. I mean, yeah, please. I mean I know he's not great against lefties. Yeah, lefties. But I mean, I'm not gonna skip him because of that. I mean, I will play him. He is the most expensive.
Yeah.
But
if the stack works out, they're gonna knock Blach out by the 4th inning anyway and be into the bullpen.
Exactly. Forsythe is 2-3. I mean, yeah, please. I like that. Like all of them. You could pick any Dodger. Kemp.
You didn't mention the best lefty masher of the Dodgers, though.
Is Justin Turner gonna miss?
Yeah, he's out for like a month or 2. Hurt his wrist. But the best lefty masher, Kike Hernandez, 2.2K. This dude,
he's gonna be in.
I would assume so against a lefty.
Yeah,
he's in the projected lineup. He's in the projected lineup.
Talk to me. What do we got?
Yeah. See if Patio Joe has a scoop, but I think he'll be in there. I mean,
he probably will.
I think they platoon.
He's such a versatile player. He can play so many positions.
Mm-hmm. McCutchen is in 27 at-bats, 9 hits, 1 home run, couple doubles, 333 average.
Yeah, I mean, against Kershaw, that's pretty good, but yeah.
You see Matt Kemp's price?
Still not playing him yet. Matt Kemp, 2-4, projected to bat 5th. I have a lot of interest in him.
Me too.
2-1. Do you know how he's done? I see 2-4 on FanDuel.
I see 2-1.
Yeah, all right. You're probably right because I'm not on FanDuel.
I think
you know
he's
how
done
Kemp
pretty
did
well
this
this
preseason? Yeah, has he shown any power?
I'm not sure about power, but I think he's done pretty well.
Always has power.
Yeah, and I agree with what Cash said. Like, I like the Dodgers. I like everyone. I don't think you should skip the lefties like Seager and Bellinger because that'll be contrarian, even if this is popular. And if the stack works, they're going to get to Blatch early, and you'll see bullpen and Bellinger and Seager both have double dong upside anytime. But I definitely have interest in Taylor, Puig, and Matt Kemp, and Kike Hernandez, of course.
I really like Forsythe.
And I really like that I can now stack 4 bats on FanDuel with the pitcher. So I will.
Yeah, I wanted to say about. So y'all think that Sale's going to be more popular than Kershaw?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do get that feeling. For the same things you just said, the time difference, people want to get it in. Tampa Bay struck out the most of any team in baseball. Big spread.
I think they got rid of some Ks, but the lineup is still terrible. But I don't think there's as many Ks in the lineup as it was last year. Oh man, yeah.
I love Kershaw. He's definitely gonna be one of my top pitchers. But
I mean, if I could, I don't know, man.
I think they'll be pretty close. Like both 25 to 30%.
Okay. I mean, if it's close, I think I like Sale a little more. But just like what Cam said, I think it's more K upside from that Giants lineup. They're extra disciplined. They don't strike out a lot, but it's Clayton Kershaw. He can strike out anybody. I don't care who's at plate.
Yep. Definitely. I mean, there's a couple new guys in this lineup. Austin Jackson projected to lead off. Andrew McCutchen batting 3rd. Evan Longoria batting 5th. Hunter Pence, another righty, 6th. They were very disciplined. I don't think that matters with Clayton Kershaw. We'll see what kind of ump he's got. If it's positive, I'm jumping on board. Or I'll probably look to fade the 2 of them and grab somebody else. Maybe somebody in this next game. But definitely like the Dodgers bats and 0 interest in San Fran. And we'll have a lot of Kershaw. He's the best pitcher in baseball. But maybe this pitcher has something to say about that. We got the Cleveland Indians and Corey Kluber going to Seattle to face Felix the King Hernandez. Cleveland is minus 165, and we have an over-under here of 7.5. What do you think here, Cam?
Yeah, so this is like another guy too. Yeah, so that does work. I just made a lineup, so you can have 4 hitters and a pitcher on FanDuel for 5. So sorry, I was kind of distracted. I just wanted to triple check, so I wasn't just talking out of my ass.
That's good. That's good. We like that. No fake news here.
But yeah, I have interest in Kluber tomorrow. He's pitched well against this team. He gets the ballpark in Seattle, which is a pitcher's friendly ballpark. So I like that. Like kind of what you guys were saying too. It's a later game, so it's kind of like a late night hammer that should probably go lower on than it should be. I like him. He should win the ball game here. Cleveland's facing Felix Hernandez, so I like him a lot. If I had to rank him, though, I think he would be my 3rd behind Sale and Kershaw. But honestly, it's not very much of a difference. Kluber's so electric with his slider and everything, so it doesn't really matter. Not a huge interest in Seattle whatsoever here going up against Kluber. He's just too good, and their bullpen's amazing, so there's not really any opportunity for them to get there, so I will have no exposure there. I like all guys on Cleveland. They're just a really good team overall. I talked about it with Houston. They're another team where they have a lot of correlation just because everyone on the team can get on base and produce and score runs. So when you're rostering a guy, he always has opportunity to score runs, get RBIs, and everything. So there's a lot more ways to get the score you want. I like Lindor at shortstop at a weak position. Kipnis has been mashing in spring training. He's kind of a streaky hitter, but it's something to take note of. Jose Ramirez is an awesome hitter. And then you can take shots at like Edwin Encarnacion or Yonder Alonso here. So yeah. I like them all. I know Patio Joe's been saying Bradley Zimmer too, 2K.
Yep, projected to bat 9th right now. He's a good hitter. He will not be 2K very long. Cash, what do you think here?
I forgot about that dude. Bradley Zimmer. What I think is that Kluber will be much lower owned, I think, than those other two dudes. So in a tournament, like, I don't mind it at all because he could outscore them, no doubt about it. Like, it's major upside. I mean, if you look at his average points from last year, he averaged more than them. I would say that Chris Sale was the best pitcher in baseball last year, but some would say it was Clayton, some would say it was Kluber. But it was between those three, for me, last year, of the best pitcher in baseball.
Yeah, the dude's amazing. Last year, it was Kluber or Sale for sure. Like Kershaw,
yeah, I think it was Sale. Yeah. No, he was kind of off. Yeah, yeah, it is close. So I don't mind it at all, and I don't think he will carry much ownership because of those other two dudes. Like, they're going to play them. They're not going to play Kluber against Seattle. Seattle's a tough lineup.
Yeah,
like, it's a hitter's ball. I mean, it's a pitcher's ballpark, but it's still a tough lineup at the end of the day. So I like it for tournaments. I'm not going to play no Seattle players. None. Zero. You could always stack Cleveland. They're kind of like Houston. Like, you could pretty much stack them just about every day. I like Alonso and I like Kipnis. That's my two favorite guys for Cleveland. Chisenhall, I have interest if he's going to be in the lineup.
Yeah.
And I forgot all about Zim. Oh, yeah. I like that then. I like that. That's definitely a good sneaky option that would power. And I forgot all about Zimmer. That's not bad. I like that, Patio Joe. Min price. I like that.
And, like, initially my instinct was, like, Felix could be a sneaky SP2 on DraftKings, or even if you want to get crazy on FanDuel and, load up on bats. But looking at his logs last year, like, he had multiple 4 and 3 home run allowed games. And, Cleveland doesn't strike out at all. So I don't think there's enough upside in that play. I do think he'll pitch decent, though, so I'm not going to be playing too many Cleveland bats. I probably won't stack them. I don't mind the Bradley Zimmer, Tyler Naquin, or Lonnie Chisenhall, like, one-off for value. Yonder Alonso is cheap, but he's at first, which is tough. Love the top 3 hitters, just probably won't use too many of them. Pitcher's Park, and I think Felix will have, like, a veteran, decent performance against, maybe just catches Cleveland early when they're not rolling on all cylinders.
So Naquin's going to make the opening day lineup.
He's projected to bat 7th. He's min price too. They got.
Yeah, man. I hope he makes the lineup through the year.
Yeah, I like Naquin, man. I like him a lot.
Him and Chisenhall, both of them.
Yep. Patio Joe just texted me, said there's a question in chat where you can check on umpires. Umptracker.com. Ump Tracker. Pretty simple. And you go to the profiles, find out who that umpire is, and it'll show you his actual strike zone, every pitch that he called the ball on a strike last year, and how pitcher or batter friendly they are. It's the best place to go to see what kind of umpire they got. That's it, though. I don't really have much interest in that game. It's mostly a fade for me. I do think Kluber's interesting, but I also respect the Seattle lineup a tad. Unless he's got a monster umpire, I probably will stay away from it. Next game we got. This one's interesting. I'm curious to see what you guys think. We got the Colorado Rockies traveling to the Arizona Diamondbacks. We got Patrick Corbin, the lefty, facing John Gray, the righty. This is a pick'em right now with an over-under of 9. And Arizona was one of the most hitter-friendly parks, and they're introducing the humidor for the balls this year. And it's, from what I've heard, expected to have a decent enough impact where the stadium may fall to like 10 to 12 to 15 range possibly.
Yeah, I've heard 20% decrease in homers.
Yep. Still in the middle of the summer when it's 100 degrees and they got the roof open, I will still be going there. But something to keep your eye on this year and see how games go in Arizona. But Cam, what's your thoughts here?
Yeah, this one's interesting for me from the pitching perspective. John Gray at 8.3 on FanDuel and Patrick Corbin at 6.4. They both have GPP winning upside, and they're pretty cheap here in a matchup where they're two teams that can strike out. Both of these guys have had good outings versus these teams. John Gray at Arizona last year put up 55 FanDuel points. Patrick Corbin's had success against Colorado, especially when you get Colorado away from Coors Field. They tend to struggle a little bit more there. So I'm going to have interest in both of these pitchers. I won't go overboard on them, but I'll probably have a little bit of exposure to them tomorrow just because I think they do have value in these two matchups. They have GPP winning upside. So I like both of them. And then from the bats, I don't mind like a Arenado, Trevor Story versus a lefty, or DJ LeMahieu at 2.8 at second base. He's at like a bad position at second base if you want to pay down. He has really good BVP versus Patrick Corbin. Let me look at it here quick.
Who?
LeMahieu.
DJ LeMahieu.
Oh, okay.
37 at bats, 14 hits, 3 triples, 3 home runs. Batting .378 versus him. I'm sure those triples probably.
What's the walks versus Ks?
3 walks, 3 Ks.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're looking if he sees him well or not. But yeah. So I don't mind him. And then from the Arizona side, I'd probably just have like a Goldschmidt. This projected lineup doesn't have Swarza Jr. in it. Interesting. That's probably not right, I would imagine. But Swarza Jr. from
Souza from Tampa.
Souza, yeah. He went from Tampa, right? This projected lineup doesn't have him in, but he's a reverse splits guy. So John Gray, little righty on righty action. So this is actually a favorable matchup for him. So I don't mind that, but majority of interest for me in the pitching here in tournaments.
Cash, what about you? What do you like here?
Yeah, you only play Souza against righties. There was a point last year where every single one of his home runs was against righties, and then later on in the year, he got one against a lefty or two late.
Or like 2, but that was it.
Yeah.
Absolutely only against righties.
Exactly. Always.
Joe said he got hurt.
Oh, for real? Oh, that sucks. But, I love John Gray, personally. I love him. I love to pitch him in cores. I love to pitch him even more out of cores. I love him. He has major K upside. It's really close between him and Richards for me. John Sale has more upside, in my opinion. But I'm trying to be an asshole and get sneaky and play Richards. But oh no, I am. John Gray, if he could go out and pitch 7-8 innings, like he could K 10 plus here. There's no doubt about it in my mind. Dude has major upside as far as Ks, but he also can get hit hard. But 0 Diamondback bats for me. I think John Gray is very interested in the tournaments. Corbin too. Corbin is a dude I played a lot last year, but I would not mind taking a Story or Arenado. Either one of them I have interest in. And I don't think I'm going to pitch Corbin, but I would not, if somebody pitched him and I seen the lineup, I wouldn't be like, oh, that's a terrible play. I think he's a good play, but I prefer Gray. But Corbin is so cheap.
Yeah, I'm looking at FanDuel pricing. I got Corbin at 6.4, Gray at 8.3. I got to take a look at the umpire, but I have significant interest in both of these pitchers.
I got Corbin, Gray at 7.8.
7.8?
Yeah.
Maybe I have to draft. I don't know. Whatever site I'm using is not accurate. But Corbin is 6'4", and I'm looking at FanDuel. And Gray's 7'8". Like both those guys could very easily land on my main team, like as the starter. Because I like, on slates where there's multiple studs and like 80% of the field is going to have expend all their money on pitching and less money for their bats. Like, I like to approach the field the opposite. Pay down a pitcher, pay up for all my bats. So I'm looking for that cheap diamond in the rough. And both these guys have massive K upside. Obviously the stadium change definitely plays into that. The humidor, I'm hoping that has more impact than people expect. It's not the summer, so it's not too humid. If I had to pick one, I do like gray better, and it's tough, but I mean, I respect the Arizona lineup a bit more. The Rockies lineup is not good outside of Colorado.
Dude,
and what?
Gray on DraftKings is not 6'5", is he?
Let's check. Is that a question, or are you telling me because you're looking at it?
No, I'm looking at it, but that can't be right.
It could be. It could definitely be right.
Harry.
So that is very interesting for an SP2. But
holy crap.
I'm even talking about FanDuel as my main pitcher. Like, both these guys have big upside. Both these teams K a lot. If we get the good umpire, that will definitely clinch it for me. See what these lineups come out as. But, most of the power outside of Arenado and Story is on the left-hand side. So, I prefer that against Colorado. I think I prefer Corbin because he's cheaper on FanDuel. And, the Rockies are just terrible on the road. And although I do like John Gray too, he's a very good pitcher. And, I just fear the Diamondbacks. And the Diamondbacks at home. Teams tend to win their first game of the year on their home field. So I think Corbin is more interesting to me, and I'll be able to get a ton of good bats with him. So
man, I pitched Corbin in course last year. So
you can.
I mean, I like him. I like his talent a lot.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree.
Oh, that's right. Those late games aren't on the main slate.
Yeah, they're not on it. Yeah, they're not on it for DraftKings.
That's why I didn't know that.
If I was going to play any of the Diamondbacks bats, it'd be Pollock, Goldschmidt, and Lamb. Only those three guys right now. But I expect Pollock to have a monster season this year. I mean, he's a guy who can steal base anytime he gets on. Goldschmidt, no explanation needed, and Jake Lamb crushes fast, straight-throwing righties, and that's what John Gray does. So don't mind a little small mini Arizona stack either, but I like both those pitchers a lot. Next game we got was going to be the Washington Reds game, but that game's postponed, so that would be the last game. All right, awesome. That's going to do it. It's, got to shake out the cobwebs on baseball, and I'm going to be doing research pretty much till the live stream tomorrow, because it's 3 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast, and the live stream will be at 1:30 tomorrow. Before we get out of here, man, we are going to do the Dong Watch. That might not be the official name for the season, but we're going to do some home run projections. I'm going to do a infielder, outfielder, and then your favorite guy, any position on the slate. So favorite infielder, favorite outfielder, and then your main guy on the entire slate. All right. So, Cam, I'm going to start with you. Give me one infielder that you'd like to hit home run tomorrow.
I'm going to go with Gallo against Verlander.
Joey Gallo versus... Very, very interesting. I like that call. Gallo could lead the majors in home runs today. He's got that much power this year, I mean. Cash, what about you?
Alex Bregman.
I like that one, too. He's one of my favorite plays on the slate. I'm going to cheat. I don't even know if it's really cheating, but catcher's part of the infield, right? I'm going to go Gary Sanchez, my man, off the lefty. What about outfielder, Cam?
Oh, God. There's so many options. Let's just go with... This is tough. I can't find a name on here.
Tough to pick an outfielder?
Yeah, dude. There's a lot of them.
There's a lot.
Let's go Springer.
Springer. Interesting. So 2 from that game. What about you, Cash? Which outfielder?
Nick Williams.
Nick Williams.
I knew you were going to say him. I don't want to be a dick.
That's awesome. I'm going to go Chris with a K Davis from Oakland off of Garrett Richards. And then favorite play on the whole slate. Also going to hit a home run. Any position you want. What do you got, Cam?
Kind of like Carlos Santana tomorrow off Teheran. I think he's going to be lower owned than he should be. Yeah, so I'll go there.
And Cash, favorite play on the slate?
Which Philly? Which Philly bat you say?
Carlos Santana.
Oh, okay. I like that. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm going down. Let me go down.
She said.
I like when she says that. Let's say oh man, that one's really, really off the wall. Damn. I wasn't prepared for this.
It's all right.
Oh my God, Joey Gallo's so cheap. I will say screw it. Matt Davidson.
There you go.
Matt Davidson. Wow. Very, very interesting. And I'm going to go with JD Martinez. Nope. Psych. Give me Aaron Judge of the Yanks. Double
Cheater.
dong.
Ooh.
Double dong. Start the season off. Him and Stanton going to have a race to 62 this year. What about pitching? Everyone always does dong watches, never talk about pitchers. Favorite spend up tomorrow? Cam.
Sale.
Cash.
What spend up?
Favorite expensive pitcher?
Over what? Over 11?
10.
Over 9. Over 9.
9.
I will say Severino.
I like what that. Awesome. When Cash is taking a Yankee, it's like extra. It's like extra good call. That's a really good call. I'm gonna go with Kershaw. 0 ERA. He's the best pitcher in baseball. I think he's a little hungry. After not as great of a season last year, wants to get his Cy Young title back, and he's taking on a Giants team that just has no chance. So I'll take Kershaw as a pay up. And then favorite pay down under 9K. What do you got, Cam?
So on FanDuel, I like Corbin as like a cheap option, but on DraftKings, I like J.A. Happ for the leverage.
J.A. Happ for the leverage. And DraftKings has, different scoring. Make sure you check your scoring, guys, because DraftKings pitching is more whip-centric than FanDuel.
Yeah.
So J.A. Happ would probably be a better start over there.
Yeah, definitely want the K's over on FanDuel.
Yeah, you need the case. You need him on FanDuel.
Garrett Richards.
Garrett Richards. I like that. I got to look into that, though. By the live stream, I'll have a final answer on him. But for me, it's going to be Patrick Corbin, 6'4". I'm going to have a lot of bats tomorrow and hope that they go ham. I think that's going to do it. Love that baseball's back. Thank you guys for joining us. Grind has begun. I am pumped. Baseball is my favorite, and not my favorite, but my best, my most profitable DFS sport. I met Cash last year at the Baseball Live Final, and we both looking to go back again this year. It's going to be a fun ride. Baseball is a lot of fun. Anything you guys want to say in closing? Cam?
Yeah, I think like it's an exciting time of the year, but not to be like the fun police or anything, but just like take it easy on your bankroll for the first couple weeks. Let's get like a sample size and like statistics and stuff before we go all in, but it'll be fun tomorrow.
I agree with that. I actually was texting Joe earlier and said that opening day is overrated for DFS. Like, we really don't have any what do you call it? Like example, any sample size to look at. So it's really just guessing the first day. But it's still fun. I wouldn't say, don't play, but I would take it easy for the first couple weeks because you can kind of really get a feel for who's hot, who's not in baseball once you've seen them play a little bit. I agree with that. What about you, Cash?
Man, I'm going very light tomorrow, and I will go light until I hit. But my closing thoughts is F the Yankees.
Nice, very nice. I'm just gonna keep laughing as we crush this year, but it's good. It's good. You keep knocking them, and this is gonna be a good year for the Yanks. I think we got a very, very good shot at going all the way. And I love Aaron Judge, Mike Stanton, and my favorite, the catcher,
Gary the Goat.
Gary the Goat. Thank you. I love that 2, 3, 4, and it's gonna be fun. So check us out, Wisestream, wisetake.com, MLB packages. Grab a day pass. Check us out. We will be having a model. We'll be having articles, cash game articles, GPP articles, cheat sheets. We are bringing in the new expert poll, and which will have 3 or 4 of the guys answering about 7 or 8 questions on the slate, so you can get an idea of different approaches, different things, different stats they're looking at, who they like. Tons of content. Baseball's probably, as a company, our best sport, so expect a lot of screenshots, and it's going to be a fun ride. You know what to do. If you're on YouTube, give us a thumbs up, give us some positive comments. If you're on Facebook, share, like, and if you're on Podbeam or iTunes, give us some positive reviews. That means a lot. It helps us out. It helps us keep doing what we do. So, for CashinDFS, Twitch style too. Twitch style. Don't forget Twitch.
We're going to be on Twitch this year.
That's right. For Cam the Boy Genius and myself and the entire Wise Take Nation, baseball is here, but we are out. Peace.